I don't know what the world is like out there anymore. Technical difficulties. Life is strange. Tridactyls are stranger. What's happening out there? Thanks for watching the streams lately. Doing some serious searching. I think there's still lots of skeptics. A lot of people don't see what I'm seeing, which is unfortunate because it does make you feel a little crazy. So if you think you have seen, if I have shown you a tridactyl tadpole at any time, let me know if that is so. If I have shown you a tridactyl tadpole, I want to know. How about a tridactyl theme song? Yeah, I can't hear it because my headphones are in America's trash bin. I'll have to see who's out there, but you know, I'd like to hear a little bit of sound coming from somewhere. So maybe I'll put on my headphones here. Anything good happening? Oh, that's awesome. Nothing coming from there either. So no sound for me. So let me know what's going on out there. Let's see if we got any chatters coming. You got any chatters? Chit chatters? I would like to talk about what happened this week in Tridactyl news. I know we've got Montserrat happening. People are talking about the Montserrat. That's good. I thought I found some interesting things in Santiago this week. It looked like actual hatchlings. So that's pretty cool. Of course, there's Fung's report still. We talked about that a little bit last week, about what was going on with his report and about he suggests murder with a shaft of sorts. But I'll bet you that shaft is 1 centimeter, the head of a tridactyl that could bore right through them. So that's happening. Give a shout out if you're out there. Let me know if I've ever shown you a artifact that demonstrated what looks like a tridactyl on it. That would be fun.
Bluetooth connected.
Oh, we got Bluetooth connecting. Let's see. Will that provide any sound for us? Oddly, I still don't hear sound, but we'll try again. All right. There it says it's on. How cool. There it is. Maybe we just need a little music then. Let's play some things, some cinematic perhaps. That I've discovered this week. But I'd like to pull up the Santiago, his actual. You guys are probably sick of seeing the tridactyl scans, aren't you? Let's go ahead and pull up Santiago anyway and see if we can pull up that, what I suggest are a lot of hatchlings, and these hatchlings are engaged in some serious feeding. I could turn down the music on my end. I just like to hear it a little bit. You know? Make me feel like I'm part of this with you. I'm loving the Restream music. Of course, all this stuff costs money, right? Restream costs money. X costs money. The t-shirt store costs money. I mean, what else? There's probably more stuff that my business acquaintance, one of them would say partner. It's a little too deep. My business acquaintance. Hopefully we're out there. No, we're gonna do like some serious scans tonight, but we're gonna do a little bit of hunting just to make a point. So let me pull up this 3D of Mr. Santiago. How's it going out there, folks? Tell me if you have any good sightings. I saw the Hudson River Valley craft I told some of you about. I've also seen the sort of dancing stars in the sky. Oh, we have this other phenomenon I want to talk about. Some woman posted on my Facebook group about taking pictures of strange tiny beings. So that's another thing. If you have any experience with tiny beings or even just legends are fine, we could go over the legends together, couldn't we? Listen to that music. I've been playing the ambient while doing the tridactyl search. It's a little more chill. And what I've tried to do is kind of divide the body up into 3 sections. head, chest, pelvis, because there are so many tridactyl forms that it's kind of hard to keep track of them all. So you have to keep that in mind. Bet you didn't expect to hear that, huh? So many tridactyl larvae that it's hard to keep track of them all. Looking for a good Santiago today. Looking to hear from anybody out there. We're going to be giving away a skull later today. I'll be rolling on roll 20, which also costs money per month. Had to mail one to Australia today. Oh my God. I guess I should be happy that people in Australia and New Zealand are getting the heads. Look, if I send you a head and it gets mushed, let me know. We're going to try to rectify those. I'm working on the mixture. It's I'm not really a model maker, so I'm doing the best I can, folks. Let's see if we got anything on the table to show us. Trying to get 3D on Santiago, and for some reason it's not coming up. Do we really need the 3D? Yeah, I think we do. Yeah, that's the problem with when your computer starts to have like one little thing wrong with it, and then like I couldn't even get to my Bluetooth. I couldn't even get to my start menu. So even though I was all ready to do the show, I was frozen on the start menu and I couldn't do anything, and I had to restart everything. So if I didn't post in X again, here we'll post, make sure that's there. This is the weekly show. Let's talk Tridactyls. I'd like to show you some Santiago and see if we can get this 3D here up and running. So I posted where I thought maybe I saw a dual uterine, and the gentleman said that he is a radiologist and that's just typical organs. I just can't. I'm glad he's a radiologist. It is very hard for me to read those things for sure. And I'm like, where are the lungs? So let's look at his label and see what he suggests. And that's good because I look at some of these body parts and I can find the larva, I can find those. But like, let's take a look at the water cat this week. That's fun. Of course, it's going to be a little digital because what is it, like 3 to 5 centimeters? Let's share the TV here. Yep, so big you can barely even tell. Some of these pictures are better looked at small, I think. So this is a tridactyl-like face right here. It's 2 eyes. It's 4-limb first, so that's its front leg. We have found these before. Oh, here we go. We got some people showing up. We got Mark, and we got Sammy, and I guess you guys are both up the street in good old Boca Raton there. Let me know what restaurants you guys go to up there. I just ate at a Peruvian place the other day here in Coral Springs. It was delicious. So, yeah, I was saying I had everything set up to go tonight, and then I had to reload it again. Not the first time. Not the first time this has happened. Go figure. Oh, I'm showing some other gentleman here. Sorry about that. Whoever you are, Jakey. Let's see. Well, let's look at these things. Just in case, if you're not in my sites here. So this was fun. So I detected a larva in the furcula of Louisa. And boy, doesn't that just look like an ET there, doesn't it? How cool is that? So I do suggest that really ultimately the implants are about the larva. Ultimately the implants are about the larva, and they're about either extraction points near the ribs, or dealing with furculas that have been bored. And I don't mean boring, I mean the larvae have burrowed through the furculas. So that was a cool discovery, a nice little I tell you, I'm gonna log in today. I'm having so many errors happening. It's almost like let's just give away the skull and move on, because it's hard to get anything working here. I like X'd out, almost ended the thing. Yeah. I guess when the computer doesn't work very well, it just, well, we're going to try something else then. Hold your horses. Let's share. Let's share a screen. Normally, too, maybe I have an excuse for being a little verklempt, but usually once the tech goes on me, that's it, guys. I'm just like done. I'm just done. All right, so again, we've got Santiago here. I wanted to look at the 3D version, but we'll use this for now. And let's get some light on this. Let's cast some light on this situation. So how's it going out there, Mark and Miss Sammy? Thanks for coming. What's new? Got any experiences? If anything you heard about out there, it's interesting, feel free to share it. If you ever saw a Tridactyl larva, Tridactyl tadpole, and you believe I demonstrated that to you, let me know. Or if I ever showed you a Tridactyl artifact. Oh, look at that. So even the other groovy little settings aren't working. I don't know what's going on. Sometimes this stuff doesn't work. Well, good. At least I got to where I want it to be. All right, so what are you guys seeing? You're seeing something. That's good. So look at this here. Now, this is something now, again, people say like, well, Ed, shouldn't the researchers know about this stuff? I mean, have you heard about it? I guess maybe people are writing reports and we're not reading them. So whatever this is, I say it looks like the early larva, almost maggot-like. So literal hatchlings. And then usually you can see some other just craziness here. And that's why, like, when people say that they don't see it, I don't understand it, because it's a nature preserve of things happening. Oh, what the hell's going on, man? So I just wanted to catch up people with the hatchlings. And what else might be in there? You know, there's some pareidolia up there. So I thought that was cool. All right. I think that's all we're going to show for the scans tonight. I just wanted to show that. And I also wanted to talk about, have you guys ever looked at Chinese landscape paintings? So the Chinese landscape paintings almost look like the X-rays to me, or the CT scans, because they are full of serpentine shapes and whatnot. And how about that famous UFO painting? I believe it's by a gentleman by the name of Gelder. And everybody points out the flying saucer in it, right? But what if we take a look at that first before we look at any Chinese stuff? And I don't know what you're saying, no, Tim, but take a look at this painting. See if you remember this one. Let's see here. Not able to share that. Let's share the whole screen. Okay. So you've probably seen this UFO painting. It's called, I believe, The Baptism of Christ by John. And well, let's go ahead and look at the famous part about it. All right. So thanks for commenting, Sammy. Yeah, that's great to have a. I'll tell you what. I feel like I need to get a medical background after all of this. I almost feel like I have to. Let's see. Wait a minute now. What are you talking about, Mark? Please elaborate. Yeah, I feel like I need to get a medical degree because I don't think anyone's going to listen to me otherwise. Let me run and get my doctorates in medicine real quick so you people will listen to what I'm saying. So yeah, Mark said something about a head. I don't know what he's talking about. Is he talking about this art or another art? Let's see, Mark. What do you have to say for yourself? Anything, Mark. Anything. Don't leave me hanging. Oh, did you hear that? That was me drinking some kefir. Okay, so while we wait for Mark, let's zoom in on this and see what's up there. If we got up there, what is that? Oh, that's good to know. So what are we looking at here, you guys? Have you ever really zoomed in on this? It's kind of bird-shaped, right? Bottom center, he said. So, all right, Mark, I'm going to go down here. This right here, this one. Let me move up this one here. Yeah, it also looks heart-shaped, the UFO, too, doesn't it? I thought so, too. Not super heart-shaped, but there is something there, right? Okay, that's interesting. And then I think he's talking about this head here. Well, good. I'm glad you brought up this head. I'm thinking you mean this one. But I even suggest, and you might need to squint, that maybe even this whole center section creates something. But yeah, look at this guy's head here. What's going on? I guess it's his hat. Right? So let's follow our suspicions around a little bit then. See what else might be around. Yeah, I thought this was fun, huh? What's going on over here, right? What's this, you guys? You can do this with a lot of paintings. You can, like, it starts to feel like a little weird because you're like, okay, am I just going nuts here? Because you can start going in deep to a lot of paintings and asking yourself, what is this here? What is this? You guys with me on this one? What kind of hat is this? What's happening here? Doesn't it look a little weird? So are these just supposed to be regular people? I'm cracking myself up because there's like, are these just supposed to be regular people? Because I don't know, man. It's very weird. Kind of a big face here with a triangle. Well, at the very least, I think it gives you something to think about because there's definitely something going on how much of it is intentional, how much of it is. But sometimes I look at things like this here, and this reminds me of sort of a tridactyl head larva looking up. Looks pretty good on the restream, I have to admit, doesn't it? Can I put myself in the painting now? Hey. Yeah, okay, yeah. You see an alien face. That's what I'm saying. I see a lot of that. It seems to be a little... And again, this is, I think, called The Baptism of Christ, I think, by John the Baptist or something. And the artist's name is Gelder. But I think... And then look back here, too, I've noticed in the past. What does this say? Right? Did anybody ever notice that before? You know, what are these things? Little things. And I'm reminding myself of a guy called, I think his name's Robert from Kansas. And he has an interesting video where he suggests that flower bouquets on like the Queen's table and on the president's desk might contain something more. Now, he's not a tridactyl guy, but he posts things that looks like tridactyl stuff. And I can't remember his name now. Somebody from Kansas. I posted it recently on the X, to be honest. Let's see here. All right, well, let's talk a little bit then about the Chinese paintings, because those can be equally strange, I think. So we'll move right into one of those. I've always kind of liked these. I think if you know the modern artist Mobius, he kind of actually maybe emulates this style. So of course you know my suggestion that the ancients knew. Yeah, definitely writing. So what do we see now? We're in a Chinese painting. I did not keep track of any of the artists. There's a lot of different artists, a lot of different eras. Yeah, I do that sometimes, and I'm not always successful, to be honest, Mark. That's funny. I spend a lot of time with Photoshop. Not that I'm good at Photoshop, trying to eke stuff out, and sometimes I'm just like, forget it. Who cares if you see it? Let's move in. I always like to scan these and sort of zoom in. Also, but from a distance, if you squint too. So for example, I see a serpentine shape, its head here. I see the two dark eyes and a sort of supraorbital arch that I see with our tridactyl scans. Yeah, so sometimes zooming in might not be the best. It might be better to stay back. But really, in these paintings, every rock should be looked at. And that's the fun. What if when people did paint these, they had no idea that we were going to be using, zoom? I haven't really even followed the story, to be honest. Honestly, when I see any sort of boogosphere, I just kind of stay away from it. I have enough on my plate. So yeah, and it's like too human oriented. There's too many human factors involved. But what are your thoughts? Why don't you tell me, Mark? By the way, if you guys ever want to just come on and do a video, you can. I can send you an invite. If you guys want to talk, you can talk to each other. That could be fun. And this is just one random Chinese painting, and it's pretty fruitful so far, I think. I see some interesting things. And again, squinting might help. Looking at small thumbnails. Okay, what are these? What the hell are these little things? What are these, like little black heads? What is that about? Right? And is there a little being there? What's that about? Also, if you're looking for steganography, always check out the clothing, the robes. So now that we're kind of got an idea, I kind of just wanted to wet your taste buds a little bit so you know you can look at this stuff yourself, because you never know what sort of experience you might have. Because I understand the ancients even wanted us, and I say ancients, most of these paintings are from a historical era. So if they're from a historical era, what does that mean? Was there a segue of power from deities? I mean, that's how we talk about it in anthropology anyway. The priest kings and the shaman bridge the gap between the spirit world and the human world. And that's what some of this Chinese art is about. It's about depicting the spirit world in the natural world. They have a type of style called apparition paintings where it's about the hidden. So there is, again, a tradition of hiding. So we're not just seeing things, in other words. It's that an artist may have intended us to see such strange things. So you see when you zoom in. All right, I think it's enough of that. Right on. So we're talking Chinese paintings. We talked about a little of that European, even the European tradition. So keep an eye on that art. Let's talk about a woman who says that she takes pictures. Yeah, I'd like to see what's in there too. But I think the Chinese might know who's there, and it's the ancestors, and they don't want to distract the ancestors, disturb the ancestors, in other words. So yeah, so there's a lady like this guy. I want to say his name is Robert from Kansas. I couldn't find his videos, but we'll look in a little bit. And she went to my Facebook, and she was looking at the scans of the Tridactyls, the CT scans, which I suggest even that the Chinese paintings remind me of the CT scans, the serpentine shapes and the superherbal arches of beings engaged in matrophagy and dermatophagy. So here we go. Let's take a look at this Lisa Miller. Lisa Miller and her I don't know what happened there. I lost it. Her little people, I guess you'd call them. So if you know anything about the little people, give me a holler. Let me know. Let me know in the chat if you know anything about the little people, or if you've had any sort of experience, or even if maybe just, our grandparents. I'll tell you what, all my grandparents, of course, are gone, right? You can tell by my beard. So if you have grandparents out there, now's the time. Get the tales from them, the folk tales, especially those, West Virginia. Got any family in West Virginia? I had a friend on. She told a ghost story about her mother visiting her bed. So there's that. So this Lisa person, she has this picture. And the strange thing was, I kind of had a picture of something similar myself. So there we go. I'm going to share it. You guys ready for this weirdness? Okay. So this woman contacted me independently and said, hey, those scans look like paddle people I take pictures of. Are these the same thing? Yeah, this is definitely probably the most woo I've gotten into with this stuff, to be honest. I wish I could zoom in more. I may have to save the picture. And then we can open it and zoom in more and take a look at And then, of course, I'm going to have to post mine, right? And we have to find this guy, Rob. What is his name? Terrible at names. Let's see. What time is it? How are we doing? Oh, almost time before a giveaway. Almost time for a giveaway. So, I mean, yeah, there's... Look, let's... What do you guys think of this? I mean, you guys like some woo? This is the woo. What is going on? I mean... Yeah. I need to find the other guy now while we look at this. So I'm going to look up this guy. I think I found him because he was pointing out faces at Hoover Dam. And that he believes, you know, there's evidence of like ancient cultures there. Oh, he believes that he saw pillars at Mount Kailash, which, I mean, I don't know. It's definitely weird, but I don't know if they look like pillars to me. I do suggest Mount Kailash is the most holy mountain on the planet, at least one of them. And the base of it is the lakes where we may have had some interaction between humans and gods. Look, there's like another one right there, probably. Right? And like maybe the art, they kind of overlap onto each other. All right, real quick, let's see if I can still find this guy. I wish I could remember his darn name. Kansas, Robert from Kansas. Oh, wait, they have a history of my YouTube. Let's see. Probably pull him up that way. There he is. Oval Office creature feature, guys. So Roger in Kansas City. All right, so definitely we'll give a plug for Roger in Kansas City. And again, Roger, when he posted this video 4 years ago. So, I mean, the Tridactyls weren't big in the States. They were still around. And so he suggests, oh yeah, he even looks at the desk too. He suggests that these flower bouquets could be something more. So that's his mouse currently moving on his YouTube channel. Not currently, but. So what do you guys think? Is this a similar phenomenon? Oh my God, guys, look at these. Is this a similar phenomenon? From scans to Chinese paintings to a woman's photograph to this gentleman looking at bouquets on the White House. Here's another one. Oh, he starts to getting close. Mm-hmm. So what the hell does this mean then, Mark? What does this mean? Excuse, look at these. These look familiar. That's my mouse. Is this wild? So yeah, so you can hear him talking about these things and what he thinks about them. And then here's one at the Queen's. He says, the Queen's tiny people. Oh, I guess he did show that. We just looked at that. I mean, does this look kind of familiar to you? Anyway, I think that's high weirdness. And whoo! I think that's high weirdness. And it's time to do a Tridactyl giveaway. Be sure to watch during the week. Go to X on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. for the Green Room. That's where we get to chat in the X spaces together. Also, I've been doing random Tridactyl larva hunts any time of the day, any time of the week, 2 hours at a time, finding good stuff. And please go to Tridactyls.com to get yourself a fun t-shirt. All right, I got to go to roll 20. I told you I had everything all set up with all the screens open, and that was probably enough to freeze the computer, huh? Roll 20. Any gamers out there? Video, RPG? What do you guys do? Chess? Sports? I'm not a big sports guy. I'm more of a nerd, I guess. Although I should get some sun and fun tomorrow. Okay, I'm pulling up the roll 20 so everybody can see our giant alien head. Miss Josephina. A little commercial for roll 20 there. Okie dokie, Smokey. And we also got to pull up our sheet, though. We got to pull up the number sheet, don't we? So we know who's who. Hopefully the next heads will be better. I've been really making some bad ones, man. I feel so bad. It's not really fun for me to make the heads, believe it or not. I have to admit. So, if you're good at making heads... Yeah, I do an X Spaces on Wednesday at 1 for like, is it 1? Yeah, 1 to 2 usually. I just do it for like an hour typically. Kind of chill. Play Growl Online. It's a 2D RPG game that's been around since '99. I made graphics for it too. What? I guess I see it. That's wild. Okay. Very cool. Okay, here comes our roll. And if it's a blank, since they're all taken, we're just going to roll again. So if it's a blank person, we roll again. Where'd it go? Where'd the numbers go? 42. All right, Tony D. That name does not ring a bell. Congratulations, Tony D, though, that he won a Tridactyl head. Let's hope he is not in Australia, New Zealand. I don't know, Tahiti. All right. Thanks for coming, you guys. Let's do this again. Let's look in those paintings for our steganographic art, perspective anamorphosis. Live long and prosper. A little bit of outro music.